or the Mad Hunter will catch us! We need to hide. This way. What's going on? I don't know. Is he here? Is he really here? I don't know. I'm scared. Go away! Yeah! Go back to the forest!
Whoa. Mad Hunter. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tell Me Why. I am so excited to play this chapter 2. I mean, in the last parts, what happened? Oh man, like, what a cliffhanger. Leave that on chapter 1 with the, whatever his name is, the Mad Hater, whatever he is. Oh man, I'm excited to play this. So let's continue on this and see where it takes us. I'm really, honestly excited to keep playing
Once
this.
upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins.
The crafty goblins did everything together, until one day, when darkness overwhelmed the big wooden house in which they lived.
Blamed for the darkness, Brother Goblin was forced to leave the forest, while his sister had to stay behind.
Ten years later, they were finally reunited, and together, they decided to confront the darkness in the big wooden house.
Though they sought the help of their friends in the forest, they found that no one wanted to delve into the long-gone past.
This is how the goblins found themselves alone in the woods, trying to discover why darkness had submerged the big wooden house.
That was interesting.
Tomorrow we should play Compass and North Star in the woods. Be sure to wear your hat then. You be sure to wear your hat.
All right, who wants ice cream?
Me!
Eat up. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground beneath the sapling. And as the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly gone, and with it, the final link to her old self. She could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara and a beautiful gown, but a wan woman, alone in a deep and ancient wood. And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure, and her title.
I don't like that story. There were no goblins, and it was depressing.
We won't read it again.
I love you, Mom. Not me. Just kidding. Love you, Mom.
Mwah. I love you too. Sleep well and dream, my doves.
Ollie? Ollie? What a waste.
That's what I would have done too.
Allison! Ollie? Allison, need to call for help. Allison. I killed Mom. I killed her.
See, that's so good. I'm so excited for the chapter 2 to figure out what the family secrets are. Oh man, you guys, you don't even know how excited I am for this. This game has been pretty, like, exciting, emotional, and with all this music and just the scenes and everything, it just gets me excited. I don't know, emotional, excited. Like I love when games can actually do this to me and make me actually happy to be playing it. This is so cool. This is honestly, like, I don't know, it makes me emotional. I want to cry. Just happy. Just happy feeling crying.
Hey. You doing alright?
I thought coming here would be closing a chapter of our lives, you know?
And instead we've spun off a whole miserable prequel trilogy. Okay. No. We're not letting ourselves do this again. Come on. Up. Mind-numbing labor's a great way to forget your troubles.
Can't we just have coffee instead?
No. On your feet, soldier. Let's take a break from packing and sort out the furniture. If we get enough done, I'll drive you into town and buy you a gallon of ice cream.
Gallon of ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip, 2 gallons. Let's do this.
What a wager.
Goblin face is keep, $sign is donate or sell, and trash can is, well, trash. By the way,
Crummy table and wobbly chairs.
I kind of just want to keep everything.
We're finished this, and you've got a brand new table.
Thanks. That's so nice of you to offer.
Oh, oh god, what's that smell?
What's that smell? What's that smell? Smells like delicious garbage. Ooh, yes, delicious indeed. Or could it be Stinky Pants Sam? Oh, Stinky Pants Sam!
Come on now. Sam got that smell getting a skunk out of our barn. Be nice.
A skunk? What did you do to her? Is she okay?
Sure is. She just went hunting for food and couldn't get back out. All she needed was a little nudge to get her on her way.
Sam Kansky, hero of skunk kind.
I remember being super impressed by him, and it made me want to be a wild animal superhero too. Allison, I asked you.
You hungry? We have a whole lot of nothing.
I was hoping maybe you could make me one of those pickle and ketchup sandwiches.
I'm sorry, sir. We are all out of pickles today. Could I interest you in a ketchup-only sandwich? Looks like there's still a bottle back here.
Ew.
Says the guy who used to eat peanut butter with ranch.
So good.
That sounds nasty. Dumpling cake. One of you guys should make this.
Ancient appliances, you are staying here. Although, that oven looks in okay enough shape.
No way. We are not moving the oven.
What to do with this? Tables are expensive. And besides, this one's an Allison and Tyler original.
I agree with that. Hey, look, another collectible.
What's this doing down here? Is that gum? Ugh. I guess that was probably me.
What does that say? No. Well, no. What does it say underneath it? Can I look back? It says goblins were here. That's what it says. That's
Ooh,
awesome.
I could turn this thing into a terrarium. Hey, remember Volcano?
I completely forgot we had a pet vole for a few days.
Poor Volcano. She was in rough shape when we found her. Good thing Marianne actually knew what she was doing with injured wildlife.
Lasagna!
Finish your salad first. Thank you, Tessa. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, don't worry about it. They're just leftovers from the restaurant.
What about Volcano? She needs to eat her lunch too.
Oh, quite right, love.
She can have my corn.
Here you go, little one. You must be hungry too.
That's awesome.
Looks like Tessa didn't have that broom up her ass back then.
Ooh, shots fired.
I guess it's finally time to take these pictures down.
Yeah, still deciding what to do with them.
I mean, most of them are pretty happy memories.
I guess.
You look cute here.
That's not me. I mean, it is, but
not really. I get it.
it's just weird seeing myself like that again.
Damn. Didn't think a picture could throw me like this anymore.
Has therapy helped at all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. My therapist really heard me when I said I was a guy. And she helped me get ready for the reactions I'd get, you know? It's dealing with other people that's been way harder than figuring myself out. At the end of the day, being able to look in the mirror and see Tyler, that's made the biggest difference. Which is why I'm scheduling my top surgery as soon as we sell this house. No more putting a binder on every morning. God, that sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, totally. Just so you know, I'll be there to help out when you do. Whatever you need.
Thanks.
All right. What's your verdict, Ronan?
You know what? I'll keep a few. To remind us how far we've come.
Oh man, I love this one.
Why do I look so pissed? I remember loving this.
Maybe because Marianne was sticking a camera in your face?
Come on, smile, like Allison. Come on, honey, smile, like Allison.
Hold up your fish.
It's not my fish anymore. Allison stole it.
My sister, the fish thief.
You were just being bratty.
Was I, though?
Yes. All I did was help clean it when we were out on the porch. Eddie had to force you to share. Ugh, gross stain is gross.
Ugh, what happened?
Some unfortunate spillage that brought about the end of indoor tea parties. I hid the stain with my toys, forgetting that they would eventually be picked up.
Brilliant move, Ronan.
I was so afraid that Marianne would ground me for the rest of my life.
But she didn't, right?
No. I remember her saying that sufficiently adventurous play ensures that accidents will happen, and that it wasn't a big deal. So, no more tea parties inside.
Take your time. He's not gonna jump up and do the cha-cha.
What about me? I want to clean the fish too. It's not even your fish. You didn't catch anything. Ugh. Only because you wouldn't stop talking and scared all the fish away.
Keep your eyes on what you're doing. Allison, when we're done with this half, you can take over and do the other one. That sound fair?
Yes.
You're right. I was kind of being Brad.
That's a nice face.
I wonder if my horse figurine is still in there.
You're what now?
You know, my blue toy horse. With the kind of melted face. The one you stole from me.
What? That never happened.
Yeah, it did. I won it at that little Halloween carnival they had at the school every year. You grabbed it and hid it in the pot. Then when I tried to get it back, you said there was a snake inside too.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. I think I remember the snake part, but you didn't win that horse. I did. And you were crying because you hadn't won anything, so I gave it to you.
That makes no sense. Why would you hide it if you gave it to me?
Because kids are kids?
I don't see anything else.
Allison, I asked you to clean up the coffee table 3 times already.
Oops. I forgot. All right. I'll clean it up.
Thanks. While you do that, I'll check out the furniture. I'm guessing you want to keep the coffee table?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Sure. I'm not really planning on bringing furniture to Denali. And if I need a base in Juneau, you'll have all the furniture I need.
How very non-committal of you. All right, I'll keep it.
I really like that armchair. On second thought, never mind.
Maybe it'll be salvageable with a deep clean?
Are you gonna keep doing that?
Yep.
And finally. I hate to say it, but the couches get a one-way ticket to the dump.
No protest here. I think I have permanent knee damage from a decade of bumping into the corner of those damn things.
Well, then that's it for the living room. You are relieved from your duties.
Finally. I like how Allison did her hair. It looks really good.
Hey, Allison, come take a break with me.
Starting the fire again?
Yeah, I'm gonna boil some water. You want something to drink?
Earl Grey or chai?
Your call. I'm fixing myself a good old cup of joe.
Ah, a nice pot of wakey juice.
Papa needs his rocket fuel.
I am so glad Eddie came through on the caffeine.
Shh, did you hear that?
The Ice King is sending us a warning.
For your punishment, said the Ice King, you shall be banished from the forest. And if you dare come back before the new moon, you shall feel my anger in your gut. Hear it in the wind. Whoosh!
Do you think the Ice King would really react that way? He may be intimidating, but he's always fair and never mean.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe he tells the goblins to help the people they hurt instead?
Great idea, sweetie. Why don't we think about it at dinner? I'll put everything away for safekeeping while you go wash your hands.
Can you put them in the binder so they don't get stained?
Of course, love.
I still think my dark and twisty version was better.
We put so many hours into that book.
Yeah. Our binder was full of extra drawings and incomplete stories. Think they're all still in the kitchen drawer?
We should go take a look. Come check this out. Allison's first drafts. Right. 'Cause I didn't contribute at all.
Come on. I know you did. I can't believe she kept all these.
You'd think putting them on the fridge for a couple of weeks would have been enough.
You know how we thought of ourselves as the goblins? Did you ever get the sense that maybe Mary Ann was the princess in the stories?
Yeah. She called her bedroom the princess's sanctum, and she was all alone in the woods, in this house, until we showed up.
She was. Alone, but with a few friends who helped her along the way.
What are you doing?
Research. So, if Mary Ann was the princess, then who were all the rest?
And here we go.
Oh, come on. Humor me.
Should we read another passage? We read that one. What do we have? The bear, the moose. this one. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, the crafty goblins were playing near the glacier when they discovered a hole in the ice. They crept through a gradually widening passage and found themselves inside a spacious ice cave. Light spilled down the undulating blue-white walls in a way that made them look like electric waterfall, and a column made up of hundreds of icicles stood in the center. This was a time before the goblins had settled beneath the old wooden house, and they had nowhere to live. Perhaps we could live here, they said excitedly. Moments later, the sound of stomping feet interrupted their play, and they realized that perhaps someone already lived there. They hid behind a boulder to wait and see who was coming. The old bear sauntered into the cave, shaking powdery snow from his coat. He left out a giant yawn and lay down in the corner of a pile of tree brow, snoring within seconds. When they were sure he was deep asleep, the goblins conspired to claim the caves for themselves. They chipped away at the glacier until they had filled a basket full of ice. They hid once more behind their boulder and started tossing chunks of it at the sleeping bear. Now, Old Bear was now the smartest creature in the forest. So when he woke up covered in ice, he roared, "My cave is collapsing!" Then he lumbered to his feet and ran outside before the whole thing could come down on top of him. The goblins crept out after him and did a loop before coming back to find him sitting outside. "What happened?" they asked. "My cave." "It's collapsing," bemoaned the old bear, "and it's time for me to hibernate. Where will I stay for the winter?" It had occurred to the goblins that the old bear had settled in for the winter, and they felt a little bad. But did they not want the old bear to know what they had done? So instead, they offered help to find a new den. Together, they searched. They inspected cavernous stone and hollow trees and deeply pocketed knolls. Nothing they found was as beautiful as the ice cave, but the old bear settled on a packed earthen hollow that would keep him warm and dry for his long sleep. "Good night," he yawned, and the goblins gleefully returned to their new home. In the spring, the old bear woke, went for a nice long walk to stretch his legs. His path took him right up to his old cave, where he heard the curious sound of laughter. Making his way inside, he was surprised to find that his cave was intact, and the goblins were inside playing a game. "What is this?" growled the old bear. The goblins stopped playing and looked around. "We're sorry, old bear," said the goblins, "but we had nowhere to live, and it's just so beautiful. We didn't realize you were able to hibernate, and then we couldn't bear to tell you what we've done." The old bear was angry at the tricks, but the young goblins looked appropriately ashamed, and he said, "Come with me." He led the crafty goblins to the hollow in which he had hibernated for the winter. "You two can have this spot," he said, "and look, someone had built a long wooden house right over it." "No one lives there now," said the old bear, "but one day, maybe someone will." The earth hollowed was not as beautiful as the ice cave, but it kept the goblins warm and dry, and they're excited that someday they might have someone living overhead, someone who baked cakes and tolerated their mischief. And that is the story of how the crafty goblins tried to steal the cave with the old bear. They got their own instead. So the old bear, who are these guys? I think that would probably be like, we
You
swap these.
Go here.
Maybe it's her. Let's go back. See if we can find a story about the moose. Well, here's the pelican. Let's read this one. The pelican helps her friends. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest. An early winter storm blanketed everything in snow. It was so early in the year that the creatures of the forest were not yet ready for an ordinary winter, much less a bad one, and everyone agreed the storm was a sign the Ice King had plans for a long, cold winter. The princess had grown up in a kingdom where it was sunny all year long. The goblins were very young, so no one in the big wooden house knew how to prepare for such a winter. The house was not well insulated, and they did not have enough fuel or food. Only the P.S. Pelican noticed that plight, and when it came time to fly south with the other birds, her heart was heavy with sadness. What can I do, she thought. I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock? Time came to go, and the pelican struggled to take flight. It felt as though a leaden weight were stuck right in the center of her chest. What can I do, she thought. I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock? She managed to take off, but only just barely, flapping fiercely to catch up with the other birds. As Pia's Pelican began her journey, the storm picked up, batting her to and fro. She had fallen well behind the flock, and she was already growing tired. But for all of her challenges in the air, she could tell things were much worse on the ground. A deep freeze had settled over the forest. The leading weight in her chest grew heavier as she thought of the princess and the goblins. What can I do, she thought. I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, he would look over my flock. The storm intensified, and the pelican was in a total whiteout. She knew she would have despaired, but all she could feel was the weight, which had grown and grown, till she thought she might drop out of the sky. She had felt called to help the princess and the goblins, but she had ignored it. I should have stayed, she thought. It was the right thing to do, and now I'm lost, with no way to make it right. Suddenly, she plucked from the sky and deposited in the hall of the Ice King. Pelican, he said, you were flying in circles around my mountain. I was lost, she said, weighted down by the weight of guilt in my heart. The Ice King stared at her sagely. Is it guilt, or is it something else? Open your beak. He reached down inside of her, pulling out a glowing stone. Pia's Pelican was surprised at how it filled her with warmth, chasing away cold and her doubt. You know what you must do, said the Ice King. Pia's Pelican flew straight to the big wooden house. Snow had already blown in through its many cracks, and ice crept across the floorboards. She found the princess and the goblins huddled in front of the quiet hearth, nearly frozen solid. No, she cried. She placed the stone in the princess's lap. The warmth of it spread throughout the whole of the house, melting all that had frozen. The princess threw her arms around the pelican's chest, and the goblins clung to her leg. Thank you, they cried. You're welcome, said the pelican, smiling in deep satisfaction. What is that? Asked the princess, staring at the wonderful stone. At first, said the pelican, I thought it was my guilt, but when the Ice King pulled it out of me, I realized it was something much more powerful. Just then, the storm broke and the skies cleared. The pelican filled the big wooden house larger with food from her beak, and then she took to the skies, lying by the knowledge that through her charity, everyone in the big wooden house would be warm and fed until spring. That is the story of how the pious pelican saved the wise princess and the crafty goblins from the long winter. So in that case, so I think honestly the bear's this guy, just because I feel like he ended up.
You done?
I don't know. I don't know who that guy is in the far end over there. Who is that guy? That's the girl from the shop. So I definitely think she's the pelican. And has helped her throughout the places. He's the guy who helped the fishing. So let's swap this. Honestly, I think this is it. Let's keep it here and show it
All right.
to Tyler.
I think I'm done.
You sure?
Let's try this.
How do you like them apples?
I mean, yeah, sure, maybe. What about these guys? I don't see them being real life people. Or this one.
I hope I got that right.
You better hurry, or the Mad Hunter will catch us! We need to hide. This way! What's going on? I don't know. Is he here? Is he really here? I don't know. I'm scared. Go away! Yeah! Go back to the forest!
Whoa. Mad Hunter.
I forgot about that. We'd been pretending
That's not
he was
creepy
there.
at all.
And then, suddenly he was.
That was the only time that happened, right? Allison? Wait. It felt way too real. It was...
Us. Pushing our imagination way too far.
Great. Sam Kansky, Grandmaster of Bad Timing. We're not done with this conversation.
Morning, Sam.
Ahoy, goblins! I ran into Chief Brown, who said you were starting the cleanup on the house this morning, so, I kind of figured you might need some supplies.
Maybe he was the pelican.
Thank you. That was very thoughtful.
I think I got all that
Also
wrong.
got something for you, Tyler. Every man needs a good knife. There you are.
Thanks, Sam.
Good. Good, yeah. Oh, and before I forget, for the lady of the house. It was your mom's favorite recipe. Still make it darn near every week. Think of her every time.
He was definitely the pelican.
Thanks. But we don't have a stove. Still no electricity.
Oh, yeah, that fuse box is busted. Just another thing I've been meaning to put back together around here.
I thought he would
Where
be
is
the
it?
bear.
I can take care of it.
Oh, I don't doubt
Just
you can.
because
But
he helped.
I've been kicking this
with
thing
the
back to
house.
life for the last 20-some years. I'll give you a hand.
All right.
Boxes in the barn.
know.
Follow me.
We'll be right behind you.
Well, I guess old bears can learn new tricks.
Yep.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end it there. We'll come back to this and we'll see what our next step of this story is gonna take us. Thank you for watching and liking and subscribing. Let me know how you guys are liking this. I really appreciate the feedback. Anything, any type of feedback is well acknowledged. And I enjoy hearing from you guys. Thanks again.